Yo, what's up, boys and girls? It's your boy BellyDrum. So I finally got this team done. Um, this morning I got a shiny coughing from Pokemon Let's Go Eevee, and uh, let me show you guys the stats. So it's 4 IV. I had a hyper train the defense, but we don't really need speed, so I didn't really put it in there. Now, obviously, I know you've seen the Violite, so we'll get right into it. An item to be held by a Pokemon. This mysterious evolutionary lump boosts the defense and special defense stats when held by a Pokemon that can still evolve. Now, if coughing doesn't work, I'm going to use a covert cloak, wheezing. Now, some people use Galarian wheezing just for the fairy stab on the strange stream, but really strange stream is not that really good. Yes, it may have a chance to confuse the target, but they nerd confusion, so it's like not even worth it. Now, as you can see, I went Terra type as dark. That way I can, one, take not very effective damage from Shadow Rider Calyrex. Two, if there is a Prankster and a Prankster taunt, then Prankster will not affect the coughing. However, I do have taunt in return. I don't have the ability Prankster, so I can use it successfully on other Pokemon. Now, this whole team is pretty much based around Trick Room, so I had two Trick Rooms, which is the Calyrex and obviously the Sinistcha, right? So I compare this coughing next to this Calyrex set, or I compare it up to Magearna. However, I can't pair it up next to these three because of its neutralizing gas ability. Um, so I have Destiny Bond. So I compare that up with Magearna. I get a +2 in Magearna's special attack, just in case coughing does go down. Um, yeah, there will be a slight change for that. I went Sludge Bomb. That way I can try to get poison on there. Now, obviously, I know I won't do it for steel types or other poison types, but it's whatever. You practically need a damaging move on a support Pokemon. Um, it doesn't have to necessarily always be like that, but I figured since this coughing set is going to be different than the Gardevoir set, that way then we would need like a Sludge Bomb on there. I also did it for the 30% chance to poison. Um, Poison is just busted. What can I say? Now, this is just max hit points, max special defense, a calm nature. Yep. So that's that. I don't think I need to show you guys all of that. And then taunt gets rid of status moves like Destiny Bond or Protect or other taunts, stuff like that. Anything that is a status move, basically. Okay, now I have the Ice Form Calyrex, not the Shadow Rider. But this team is based off Trick Room, right? So we just set up Trick Room, and then we outspeed our opponent, and then we win. Alright, so Terra type Water. Here's what I'm thinking. So I was thinking of going Terra Dark on the Ice Rider Calyrex, but if they have a Koraidon, then I would still be super effective to fighting type moves. And then I was like, what if they have a Shadow Rider Calyrex? What can I do? So if they have a Shadow Rider, Calyrex, and a Koraidon, what I can do is I can Terra Water. I can get rid of my weaknesses to Astral Barrage and fighting type moves and fire type moves. Okay. So the fire type moves will become not very effective. Yeah. Now, obviously, you have to have Glacial Lance on there, and then high horsepower. The user fiercely attacks the target using its entire body. So it doesn't lower like any special defenses or anything like that. Now, obviously, we have Trick Room, and then we have Protect because you pretty much always need Protect. Now, I'm going with the more attacking set. Here are the EVs and IVs. Okay, so 204 hit points, which brings you to 201, 196 attack, 210. Defense is 174. Special defense is Sassy Nature at 68 with 174. And yes, we did have to put 8 points into speed. The reason why is we have to be faster than Magearna without Trick Room. Okay? Now, Magearna has nothing in its speed stat. So, we have to be faster than the Magearna to get +2 attack and Magearna to get her special attack boost. And if we're in Trick Room, Ice Rider Calyrex will be slower than Magearna. That way Magearna can hit one Pokemon. If it's not enough to knock out the Pokemon, then Shadow Rider can come in and Glacial Lance or high horsepower. And then Shadow or Calyrex will get its attack boost, and Magearna will get its special attack boost. That's what I'm thinking. So if we play the speed tiers right, then we can get plus 1 or +2 on Magearna and +1 or +2 on the Ice Rider Calyrex. Now, as you see, we have the Clear Amulet on there. Prevents other Pokemon from lowering the holder's stat changes. So whenever we get our +1 into our attack, then if they have an Intimidate, it will not affect the Ice Rider Calyrex. Okay. Now you guys should know about this Magearna at this point. So we went Terra type Stellar. That way we can get the extra damage on the Draining Kiss. That way we can do more damage on Fairy type moves. We get Stab plus an extra stab damage. It's going to be busted. Now we have Ability Shield. An item to be held by a Pokemon. This cute and rather unique looking shield protects the holder from having its ability changed by others. Meaning, coughing and the neutralizing gas effect will not affect Magearna. That way we can always get a special attack boost. Now we have stored power for pretty much every special attack that we get off, or every special attack boost that we get off. We have Shadow Ball. Maybe it'll lower the special defense. Draining Kiss for the health and protect. Obviously, that's why. And this is a no, it's not mild. I know it's not mild. Sassy, I believe. It's either Sassy. I know it's not calm. Sassy or Quiet. Can't remember. I think it's Quiet. Now let me go over here to Magearna. We have 184 hit points, which is 178. We have 100 in both defenses, which is 148. We have 120 on the Quiet Nature for 181. So that's the Magirna set. Now, I know that you guys already seen it from the video that I did from the live stream. Now, we are using Rock Pond. The reason why we're using Rock Pond is because I don't think that the fire type would be good on this, and I don't think the water type would be good. But I do think if we get a defense boost on the Terra, then we could probably live a hit from something, and we will try to do as much damage on the Ivy Cudgel as we can. Now these stats have done a lot for me. Like, all I do is just change the mask. As you can see on my other Ogre Pond, they're basically the same. So these two are basically the same, and I will show you guys that here in a minute. Obviously, we have the Follow Me, the Ivy Cudgel, Hornleech, Spiky Shield. It's pretty much the best combo, even if it's not very effective. You just throw out an Ivy Cudgel, maybe you'll get a crit. Boom. Spiky Shield, obviously everyone knows what Spiky Shield does. If you make contact, the opponent will lose its health. Hornleech will get you back health. Ivy Cudgel, just big damage. Follow Me, just in case you need to get targeted, you can. Let's see. The Ogre Pond, 192 hit points for 179, 136 adamant nature. Now I know it says 29, but this is what it'll come out to, is 171. Defense is 108 with 118. Special defense is 16 with 118. And then speed is 56 for 137. Now, I don't know if we'll actually need the sturdy ability. I mean, obviously you can have the sturdy ability, but I doubt you'll need it. Now, here's going to be the fun part, is going to be the Frost Moth. Now, I was thinking about putting Bug Buzz on there, which I changed it to Weather Ball, just because if you're playing Weather Wars, then you might like this Frost Moth set. I think it's actually pretty busted. So, we have Icy Rock, an item to be held by a Pokemon. When the holder changes the weather to snow, the snow will persist for longer than usual. And we have Terra-type Dragon, only because Ice and Bug is 4 times super effective to Rock and Fire type. You go against a Koraidon, you can change your type to a Dragon. And if they try to get a Speed Boost or a Flare Blitz, then it's not very effective. So you're thinking, why do we have the Icy Rock? Well, you compare the Frost Moth next to, you guessed it, Calyrex. You have Snowscape on there. What that does is the user summons a snowstorm lasting 5 turns. This boosts the defense stat of ice types, right? So you can get more tanky on the Frost Moth and more tanky defensively on Shadow Rider. Or not Shadow Rider, but Ice Rider Calyrex. I keep saying Shadow Rider because Shadow Rider is so prevalent. And then Weather Ball will become Ice type. You can hit Dragon types like Koraidon unless they Terra. You can pretty much outplay them. And then if Koraidon sets up the Sun, you can also use Weather Ball for Fire type move coverage, or Water type if they send in Drizzle. Now, it does not work for Sandstorm, which that would be a pretty funny way to get ground on a weather ball, like ground weather. That'd be kind of funny. Wide guard, if you don't know what that does, you're living under a rock, because I literally showed it with Pelipper the other day. The user and its allies are protected from wide-ranging attacks for 1 turn. And then obviously we have protect. So basically, this Pokemon is just busted. Oh, I didn't talk about the ability. How dare I talk about the ability? Not forget it. Or how dare I not talk about the ability? Alright, so Ice Scales. This Pokemon is protected by Ice Scales, which halves the damage taken from special moves. Okay, so now you guys might see where I'm going with this. We use Snowscape to boost our defense for the ice. Okay? And then Ice Scales makes you tankier from special moves. So what you do is you do some calculations and you go 196 hit points, which brings you to 170, 228 on a bold nature, which brings you to 119, 12 on the special attack for 147, 68 special defense for 119, and then 4 in the speed for 86. Now, Snowscape boosts your damage by 50%, or boosts your defense by 50%. Ice Scales receives half damage from special attacks. So basically, you're getting a lot of defensiveness from this Frostmoth. Now, it may not do damage, but look at that special attack stat. You don't really need anything in the special attack stat. Like, obviously, you could go Quiver Dance, but you really don't need it. Now, last but not least is Sinistcha. Now, this Sinistcha, I love Sinistcha. Obviously, it's just broken, so we had to bring it because it's just broken. We use leftovers, that way we can get health back at the end of the turn. We went Terra-type Poison just because I didn't know what else to put on there, and Poison was the only one that I had at the time. Montragacha leaves the opponent with a burn. String Sap lowers the target's attack and heals you based on their attack stat, and it lowers the attack. Rage Powder, basically like Follow Me. If you need to take a hit, you can use Rage Powder and you'll become the main focus unless it's double hitting moves. Trick Room reverses the speed stats. And here is the stat breakdown. So max hit points 178, 135 defense, which brings you to 135, 12 in the special attack for 142. Now, it's 142 because Showdown doesn't have like the correct things for it. Special defense is 176 for 134. So that's pretty much what this team is gonna do. Like, you can use it so many ways. Like, if you need to, if you need Calyrex and Frostmoth to do some work, you can. If you need Calyrex and Magearna to do some work, it can. If you need neutralizing gas for Glacier, it can work. And then neutralizing gas for Magearna, it'll work. And then obviously Ogerpon is just pretty busted in itself. Like, if you're not bringing Ogerpon, you're pretty much losing. But yeah, if you guys liked that video, leave a like. It's your boy BellyDrum. Peace out. Don't forget to subscribe.